Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Thursday. The Packers are back in pads at practice. David Bakhtiari getting rest. Elton Jenkins is back. Jair Alexander stayed inside. And now you're up to date for the most part. Christian Watson also is back out practicing in pads. Good sign going forward. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see everybody in the comments section. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at the Resch Center Plaza Pit Stop. Make sure this Sunday you get there 3 hours prior to kickoff because Corey Banke will be there. And more importantly, Carry the G will be there. That's right. Get your taste of Carry the G, the official beer of Cheesehead TV at the Plaza Pit Stop. They've got tons of stuff on offer, including Carry the G. Lots of fun. Corey had a ball last time. I'm sure a great group is ready to greet him once again. Sunday, 3 hours before kickoff, there at the Plaza Pit Stop, the Resch Plaza. Make sure you stop on by and say hi to our friends at iHeart, too. Zabe and Josh and the gang will be right down the way in their dope kicked out trailer. Make sure you check that out. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. Matt, Brandy, of course, Brandy's here. How are you, Brandy? Van Halen 84, what's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing well. Big Nessie, how are you? Man, we really need Watson out there getting reps. Alex, I hear you. I mean, hopefully this is a good sign today that he's out there practicing. You never really know how he's going to respond day after, etc. But step in the right direction. And yes, I think the offense does have a different component when he's out there. The speed, we've seen him get around the edge and some of those end arounds, etc. No doubt, he adds a component that is missing when he's on the sideline. No question. Michael, hello, how are you? Am I heading to London next week? Am I? You best believe I'm heading to London next week, along with Corey. And speaking of which, if you're in London, join us for a pint Friday afternoon, October 7th at 4 p.m. at the Dog and Duck, my favorite pub in London town. Make sure you check us out. 4 p.m. Friday, October 7th. Join us for a pint. Myself, Corey, Packers fans worldwide. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Dog and Duck on Friday. And hey, I've already heard from some people who said, I'm flying in on Friday. I probably can't make it, etc. We will be at the Packers pep rally on Saturday at Belushi's. I believe it starts at noon. But make sure, if you can't get to the Dog and Duck on Friday, come find us on Saturday. We'll be at the Packers pep rally. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you stop on by. What's going on, folks? What's going on? Zach Tom Bombadil season, Adam. We're close, baby. I can feel it. I can feel it. Much like, Frodo can feel, Sauron looking at him. I can feel it. While nothing is a given in this league, going into the Buffalo game at 6-1 sure would be nice, Adam. Adam, what did Matt say on Monday? You look ahead in this league, you get your ass whipped. I mean, yes. Would it be nice to be 6-1 heading into that game? Of course it would. But they could lose on Sunday. Let's just stick on the Patriots for now, shall we? Nags, you good with English lingo? Not great, especially if you're talking about Cockney rhyming slang. But I know a few phrases. No, I'm usually pretty lost. Porkmaster's here. What's up, man? I need advice. I turned 32 this year, and I am losing hair on one spot of my head. How would you tackle this? Do you go prevent defense with Rogaine and prescriptions? Maybe do a cover 1 with a hat, or cover 0 and shave my head? Oh, baby, I do a cover 1. You know I've been doing this. Look, I tell my girls all the time, they were supposed to give me dignified white hair. I was ready to be old. I was ready to look like Steve Martin. I was good to go. And having kids gave me a receding hairline instead. So, look, man, I've been somewhat in your position. Look, my hairline used to go like here, like when I was a younger man. And now there's still a little bit that grows there. So now I just shave that off and comb all this back. But most of the time, I'm just wearing a hat. But, man, I don't know, man. It's a hard decision for every man to make. Godspeed on your quest. I appreciate the question and the support. Uncultured, what's up, baby? How you doing? I know a little bit about English football, but I've gone down the welcome to Wrexham rabbit hole today. Wrexham fans could be old school Packers fans. You are not lying, man. The 70s and 80s Packers vibe very much fits with that show. No question about it. Hope to see Douglas on the outside this week. David, I think you'll get your wish with Jair continuing to, I know he participated in a stretch early on, initially with practice today, but he did stay inside the Hudson Center when they went outside and got in pads. So, went outside and started practicing. I suspect we will not see Jair this week, but eventually Jair will be back, and that's when that decision is going to have to be made. But I'm with you. I think Douglas looks a hell of a lot more comfortable as a perimeter guy. That is just me. Adam, I'm not a coach or on the team, so I get a pass on looking ahead. Absolutely, Adam. I feel you. Yes. Fan, how you going to fan? I feel you, dog. 100%. No question. However, don't look ahead. Get fresh. Go Pack Go. Thanks for checking out the stream on Twitch. Sorry I missed you guys on Twitch yesterday, but there was an issue with Twitch, like system-wide with Twitch, not with us. But good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, anyone going to the game on Sunday would enjoy a chance to meet up with Cheesehead Nation. John, meet up 3 hours before kickoff. Cheesehead TV folks will be joining Corey at the Resch Plaza Pit Stop. Hit it up, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's your... Oh, this is good, Philip. This is good. What's your take on drinking pints of Guinness in the UK? Now, normally, I'm a dig what you dig kind of guy, man. If you want to drink pints of Guinness, you go right ahead. But I do know tensions can run a little high, depending on the company you keep. If you were to, say, be found drinking that beer in the confines of London, the UK, England, etc. So I would just tread carefully, lightly, make sure you know who you're with. That's all I'll say about that. JD, thanks for the super chat. It was awesome to meet you and Corey on Saturday. I had a great time. Hashtag GoPackGo. JD, thank you so much for coming by, man. It was just kind of mind-blowing how many people showed up, shared their stories, had some carry the G, hung out, talked Packers. It was great to meet you, man. Thank you so much. Matt, thank you for the super chat. The season stands upon the edge of a knife. Stray but a little, it shall fall. It shall fail. Yet hope remains while the company is true. See, now this is a super chat after my own heart. Well spotted. And the title of this video to your super chat. I am very impressed. LT86, thanks for the super chat. Shout outs to 52. Spill it, Pickett. Yes, I saw his kind of car wash of interviews where I think he was promoting Tide, where he did indicate that he is all but retired from the NFL. Unofficially, I think he put it. No question, he'll be in the Packers Hall of Fame. I think he has a shot at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, though I don't know how good it is. I think he deserves it, but we'll see in that regard. 100% deserves to be in the Packers Hall of Fame. I have no doubt he'll most likely sign some kind of ceremonial one-day deal with the Packers and retire as a Packer, as he should. Kung Culture, what's up, man? Today's jams are Rage in the Cage by Jay Giles Band. Oh, God, yes. Brian Wilson by Bare Naked Ladies, and the You're So Vain cover by Faster Pussycat, Pappies. Man, I think Uncultured Barbarian has single-handedly bought us a bottle of Pappies. Get on it, Banky. Alan, thank you for the super chat. On my way to Badgers on Saturday and Pat's at Lambeau on Sunday. Can't wait to see Corey for Carry the G beer. Go Pack Go. Alan, if I can offer a piece of advice, don't mention that you went to the Badger game to Corey. Just for me, for my mental health, just kind of just forget to mention it. That's my only piece of advice there. T. Taylor, thanks for the super chat. I love run the fucking ball. Were you excited when they kept running the ball despite it being less successful, or were you wishing they started airing it out? No, I got reprimanded on Twitter because they were running the football and not gaining lots of yardage. And I said then, and I'll say now, yes, 100% keep running the football. Matt even alluded to it in his presser, I believe it was yesterday. I think he did a better job trying to stick with the run than he has in the past. No question about it. When you try to throw it around the yard against that defense, you're just playing into their hands. No question about it. Chad, yep, you drink Guinness in England. I might walk out of a pub with a broken nose and your wallet missing. I'm just saying, you gotta, I'm saying, make sure you know who the company you're in. I have seen big fights started for a lot less in pubs in England. Aaron, can I find that pillow over your left shoulder for sale on the website? Yes, Matt, you absolutely can. This pillow right here is available if you go to the Cheesehead TV shop. If you go to cheeseheadtv.com, hit shop there at the top of the homepage. It'll take you to the Cheesehead TV shop, and that pillow is available. Check them out. What else we got? Badgers always let you down. You see, the Badgers would let me down if I invested anything in them, but I don't, so they can't. The Packers, however, seemingly every January lately. Whew. How's Quay looking? Big Nessie, I think Quay's looking really good. He's still a rookie. He's only 3 games in. There are certainly parts of his game that need improvement and development, but that's to be expected. But there is zero doubt in my mind that he is an excellent fit for this defense and is only going to get better, and that should scare the hell out of future Packers opponents. Jeff, thanks for the super chat. Running the ball also eats the clock and keeps it out of Tom Brady's hands. That's part of it. I mean, they did have that one drive where they threw it 3 times and took up all of like 36 seconds on the clock in a game they were winning by 1 score in the second half. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Glenn, Nags, like your It's a Wonderful Life reference yesterday, Lord. I'm not a praying man, but if you're listening, I mean, I do pull that out from time to time. But anytime, a major injury happens, that is my go-to. I mean, if you're up there and you can hear me, please let Jair be okay. And hey, look, it kind of sounds like it got answered because it doesn't sound like it's going to be a long-term injury. So you're welcome. What else we got? They just need to stop running sideways. All right. I mean, sometimes it's a zone run and you have to. That's part of the point. The problem is sometimes, and I saw this a lot in the second half on Sunday, and I do think I buy into what Billy was saying on Beer and Ball regarding, I think in the second half they wore down the Packers front because, there were plays and runs in the first half that are well blocked and they're getting push, or they're getting out in front and getting their reach block, getting to the second level on off the double team. That was happening in the first half. That really started to slip in the second half, and especially when they tried to do the zone stuff, man, Tampa Bay was blowing it up, and they were pushing the line back. It's one thing, like, if you're running the zone and you want to hit the cutback, that's all well and good, but if everybody's 2 or 3 yards back behind the line of scrimmage, you just try to cut and make, something out of nothing at that point. But yeah, you could see it in the first half. They were very effective in a lot of those runs. Sorry, guys. Tyler, thanks for the super chat. After experiencing Sandy in New York, are you surprised they are keeping the game in Tampa? Good for ratings, but diverts a lot of safety resources. I think all of that gets weighed into the decision-making. I have zero doubt that if there wasn't a way to move the game that would free up, say, a lot of help for people in the area, I'm sure that's a conversation they would have and probably have had. But I got to think they have been, in contact, probably lower level than some of the other important, things that are going on. But I got to think they've had those conversations, the league office, both teams, with the government, both federally and locally. It's down on the priority scale, though. You would have to clearly be in those conversations to know for sure exactly what has been discussed in that regard. But I have to think, if moving that game to, say, US Bank Stadium, which I think ESPN reported that was a possibility, if that was going to free up resources to help people, I think that would have been a major part of the conversation. I mean, not everything can be a conspiracy. Not everything can be a controversy. I gotta have faith that those conversations happened. Walter, thanks for the super chat. Has DeGuara fallen out of favor? I don't think so, in the sense of he was never going to be, or I don't think he was ever going to be a major part of any game plan. I think he's a complementary piece. He is a role player. I think he's doing a good job of playing whatever role they're asking of him. But look, even Tunyon, who's their number one guy, he's not catching a ton of balls, not getting a major amount of production. It's just not something that they're featuring right now in this offense at the tight end position. I think a lot of what they're being asked to do, the tight end group, is in the blocking scheme, whether it is pass protection or trying to root guys out in the run game. You've seen him go in motion a few times. You've seen him come and smash down on some defensive ends, things of that nature. He has not been very involved in the passing game, but I think that's because he hasn't been a major part of the game plan. But I don't think that's a DeGuara specific thing. I think it's a tight end thing. Just so far, these 3 games, they haven't utilized the tight end position a whole lot. There have been spurts, obviously, with Tunyon, but I think some of that will start to open up as the year goes on. At some point, you're going to have to diversify your attack a little bit more as things go along. And look, I know Tyler Davis caught a pass, maybe catch 2 last week. But I think some of that is setting things up, right? When you make it look like, well, Davis isn't there, clearly they're going to, or probably with Big Dog too. Well, clearly they're going to run. Well, then you do a little slip out, roll out pass, and there he goes, rumbles down the left sideline. But DeGuara will get his. Eventually, those opportunities will come. I have little doubt. Drew, thanks for the super chat. Can we get some tall sizes in the merch shop? Want to support you guys, but I'm a big man and everything fits me like a belly shirt. I'm sorry, Drew. We'll do our best. I'll see what Teespring has on offer. Unfortunately, we do work with a third party, and we are kind of at their mercy. But we will see what we can do, because I've had this question asked quite a few times. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Nagler, I turned 50 this year. 50. I don't either option. The Packers' second half offense has caused several gray hairs. Yeah, well, to me, I was the second half offense just didn't surprise me that much, because that's a really good defense. And eventually they're going to get theirs. It's one of, if not the best defense they're going to face all year. So that while it was frustrating in the moment, it didn't really cause the gray hairs you're talking about. What did was that prevent defense in the final drive. That I understand it. I get the playing the odds kind of thing, but whew, baby, that was that one got me. T. Taylor, thanks for the super chat. How would Coach Nagler of the New England Patriots scheme to somehow win this game against the Packers? I mean, I know the Packers did a much better job against the run this past week, but I would continue to try and pound the football on them and take the air out of this game as much as possible. Keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. I would have the approach that the Vikings had a couple years ago when they, I think it was 2020, when they came into Lambeau, had that weird game where both teams had the ball twice in the first half, and Dalvin Cook just ran all over the Packers. Now, obviously, they don't have a Dalvin Cook, but I think they have the talent necessary to make this a smash-mouth, grinded-out game. And I think Bill Belichick, we've seen him do this on a number of occasions, even when he had Tom Brady. I would not be surprised if that was his approach. But I think that's your chance, right? Especially going into Lambeau. I think they're like 10-point underdogs or something like that. Man, the Packers, this is a game the Packers should win. I give them as few opportunities to do so as possible. That's how I would go about it. Uncultured, what's up, man? To quote a great character in TV history, hey, let's be careful out there. Used to watch it every week with my dad. John, thanks for the super chat. Saw your tweet about Favre in the Ring of Honor. No shot he gets removed. Seems to get uglier by the day. John, I understand. And as I said on Twitter, it's a real long shot. I mean, who knows what might still come out? It seems every day something more horrific. This latest thing that was reported last night about his charity, supposedly for disadvantaged youth and cancer patients, giving funds to SMU athletics like 3 or 4 times more than any other charity. It's ugly ass stuff. Even with all that, though, the name on the Ring of Honor and his number being retired is in honor of his time on the football field as a Green Bay Packer. It doesn't necessarily honor the human being. It honors what he did for the franchise. And as Cliff Crystal himself has said, you could argue that the man saved the franchise. I hate to say it this year in 2022, where we're all finding out all sorts of stuff about Brett Favre that makes things just even worse off the field for him. But the honor that is bestowed upon him, having his name in that Ring of Honor, is about what he did on the field in Green Bay. I just think, as someone, a couple people have pointed out on Twitter as well, you start digging in the past, all you get is dirty. That's a great line from Minority Report. And what other guys are we going to look into? What do they be doing? What were they doing off the field? I mean, you can go read about Curly Lambeau. Whole stadium's named after him. He wasn't a prince of a human being. I just think could it happen? I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it's a real long shot. That's all. What else we got, folks? What else we got? Soder's here. What's up, man? Nice to super chat. 70s and 80s were painful because I lived it. The 17-year stretch of Bart to Lindy generated 5 8-8 and 2 500-plus seasons. Not great, but that period in no way approaches the futility of the Lions. This is true. The Lions haven't won a playoff game since Wayne Fontes. Is that right? Am I remembering that correct? Or have they been to the playoffs since Wayne Fontes? I can't remember. But yes, you are 1,000% correct. Brett saved us with Holmgren, Reggie, Wolf, etc. No doubt, Jeff. No doubt. But even with all of that, obviously, Harlan has to hire Wolf. Wolf has to trade for Favre, hire Holmgren. Reggie White has to arrive, and Reggie himself said Brett Favre was a big part of the equation of why he wanted to go to Green Bay. All that said, Cliff Crystal has forgotten more about the Green Bay Packers than all of us combined will ever know. And he says you can make the argument, just make the argument that Brett saved the franchise. And I understand what he means when he says that. This incomparable talent for the moment he was in. And the team, what it was and what it became, was because, in large part, due to Brett Favre. That's all that means. Uncultured, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. That scene in the 70s show where Red is in church and praying that the Packers would win, I felt that back in those days. Oh my gosh, 100%. Man, when I was growing up, I went to the churches where they had Packers jerseys all in every pew. No doubt about it. I mean, in those days, it was a prayer. It was less than a 50-50 shot that they're going to win on Sunday. We had a lot of noon kickoffs back then, so you had to get right from church back home to see the game. I remember it like it was yesterday. All right, everybody, I got to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. And don't forget, Patreon members and Carry the G Club members, happy hour is coming up in, a little over a half hour? So I'll see you at the happy hour. Can't wait to chat it up. Thanks so much for listening and chatting with me today here on Packers Daily. Hit like, hit subscribe. And as always, go Pack Go.